I hope you enjoyed this deadlift tutorial that's coming up now, but what I want to offer you now is I want you to email in any videos of you lifting in the deadlift. Send it to my man Connor here. The link to his email will be in the description below, and I'll critique them over a video as well. So we'll put a video together with all you guys lifting, and I'll critique your lifts and give you some coaching points on them. So yeah, get emailing your videos now. Alright guys, so we're just going to go over some deadlifts now. So obviously, as we said in the deadlift tutorial, we'd look through as many of you guys lifting as possible. I'll critique it. I mean, we didn't really expect to have the amount of people contact us with videos. My boy Connor's inbox has been filled up with people deadlifting, which is great. So I'll try and get through as many as I can. So you have to make sure you watch this video, see if you appear in here, and I can give you some advice. If you don't make it on this video, yeah, just try and look, because I reckon there's probably quite a few guys who probably have similar deadlift forms and probably the same problems. So maybe just keep watching through, and probably someone who has similar problems to you will come up. Alright, so we got this video from ERIK NIELSEN, who sent it in. It's a lovely side-on angle for us. And yeah, as we can see here, he's got a wee bit of thoracic rounding going into his lumbar as well, so he's putting beltless as well. But what I would say with that, mate, is your biggest cue you're going to be working on is those kind of that lat tightness. You want to look to try and get your lats as tight as possible to stabilise that spine. At the moment, looking at the bottom, it seems that you're very over the bar from when you're pulling. I think you're pulling with straps here. So yeah, make sure you really try and bend that bar and kind of sit back and pull back on the pull a little bit more, because hopefully that should correct the amount of kind of rounding you're getting. As I said before in the video, a little bit of thoracic round is not bad, but when it kind of goes into your lumbar, it's not really that efficient. And I'd probably guess that you fail your deadlifts at lockout. You probably pull it very quickly off the floor, and then it's a bit of a grind at lockout. So if you improve that start position by increasing your lat tightness, I think it's probably got good legs to improve your deadlift lockout. Okay, so this next one's from JENNA CALLAGHAN, who sent in, and it is quite kind of a usual trait or a common trait I see with kind of female lifters as well. So you get your kind of set up. I think you've probably set up a little bit far away from the bar, because then when you get put into position, the bar rolls back towards your shins. So I'd probably say the first step, we go with that checklist, is move your stance slightly forward, very slightly forward. Make sure that obviously if you're looking down, the barbell's kind of, imagine it's a guillotine cutting off the top of your foot. Because you can see when you start that pull, the bar just rolls towards you, and it gives a bit of variability. Also, one of my pet peeves when people kind of like jerk their elbows and arms. What that does is add a lot of variability. So once again, we're looking to pull yourself down to that tight position. So once again, big cues for you: lats, lats, lats. Trying to bend that bar as much as you can and putting yourself down. Imagine yourself as a spring, and you're going to compress yourself down into that start position, and then at the last second it's going to explode up. So you're going to build that tightness with your breath as well into the bottom position, bending the bar, lats, and then pop the bar off the floor. But yeah, some good stuff in there. Just focus on getting into that better start position. So we got Rob Moody here, another garage gym user. It looks like, yeah, that pull looks pretty good to me. You put him obviously with a mixed grip, but you get nice and tight on the bar. Sitting back on the pull, not a huge amount to critique there really. Alright, next up we've got Hiddy Franken. I hope I've said your name there correctly, mate. Yeah, stance for me. Bring that stance in a little bit tighter. I think you'll be able to get a lot tighter in your lats as well in that start position. Okay, so next video is from Billy Dale. And actually, I think Billy, you've gone a little bit too far in terms of taking my advice in terms of bringing the stance in. So your knees, when they start out kind of outside your elbows, is a little bit of a problem. So I think that kind of heel together stance, while it's quite traditional in terms of powerlifting and very classic, you probably want to move your feet out a little bit and get your feet pointing forward a bit more. So very, very slightly, and also you have to move your hands out. But yeah, back position looks okay. Obviously your glutes rise a little bit faster than your shoulders. Obviously we talked about that in the video. But yeah, bring that stance out a little bit, and that should help you kind of have a more stable base to pull from, because that's extremely narrow. Alright, so this one's from Jack TREACHER, giving me a side-on view, which is good. Yeah, the usual things here. Obviously you need to get tighter at the bottom, sit back on the pull more, you're a little bit too far forward, and that means your you're rounding through your thoracic and lumbar, and that's why your hitch is there. So yeah, definitely for you, I'd recommend the pause deadlifts just off the floor, and make sure you get those lats nice and tight. Is it Devon Robinson? Sorry if I've butchered you down there, mate. But yeah, the pull looks really good, mate. Okay, so the only thing I'd say is you're going for that kind of powerlifting, shoot down, take your breath at the top and get down to the bar and pull. Just make sure you take your time to get that grip right, and obviously, once again, you're adding a bit more variability. But yeah, if you're used to that and it's working for you, carry on. In terms of the finer points of the pull, yeah, not too bad. You get your hips and chest and shoulders in the right place, and it's a pretty solid pull. Keep doing what you're doing. Okay, so Lewis Crowe sent me in a video. A bit of a strange angle. I've got an angle of your butt here, which is, you know, a non-welcome surprise. But yeah, I just wanted to go through this one just because it's got a couple of traits that you tend to see a lot with the guys who struggle at lockout. So obviously you're rolling the bar, which we've talked about a lot. I don't think for a lot of guys the bar roll is a good way to go, just because it does add variability to the lift. And you can see here, because you're pulling with a round back, you're getting quite a lot of speed off the floor, and then suddenly it stops a lockout and you're forced to go into that hitch, because you're trying to lock out a deadlift instead of trying to lock out with your glutes, and spinal erectors you're trying to lock out with effectively your rhomboids and your kind of traps and the smaller muscles of the upper back. I also think actually with here you're kind of shooting for that hitch. When you see, you know, us guys, we might hitch the odd deadlift, kind of shooting for a hitch where you're going to pull and then the plan is always to hitch it like you've done on every rep there is not the way to go. It's not efficient. You're using a lot of energy here. You want to be doing a nice smooth pull. So I think quite a lot of rebuild here, working on your start position again is where you need to do. So make sure you film the deadlift from the side. You get your body in the position we talked about in the video in terms of sitting back on the bar and getting the lats tight. And then when you pull back on that bar, it should give you a nice smooth pull to lock out. Because yeah, you know, obviously you see us guys, we might hitch, like I hitched the last deadlift at Brits. That was my last deadlift, you know, I'm trying to get everything out that I can, I'm really fatigued. If you start putting that hitch into your training the whole time, then it's going to creep in as your technique, and that's just not really that efficient the way to pull. Right, so this next one's from Christopher Cole. Firstly, a fantastic choice of apparel you've got there. Obviously you've got the Bish Bash Bosh cap and the silverback gear. So yeah, nice work, thank you for supporting the brands. And yeah, there's not a huge amount wrong here. I think your start position's good. I'd probably lose those kind of trainers, even though they are flat sole, probably just go in your socks. But grip just needs to come in a little bit. You know, I think you're a little bit wide in that grip and it's making the pull a little bit longer than it needs to be, but the fundamentals are there, just that maybe that grip comes in, maybe ½ inch to an inch each side. Okay, so we got one from Tom Hughes here. Straight away, obviously we see a lot of bar rolling whenever you psych yourself up for the lift, but yeah, it's just adding some variability, some change to your deadlift, so I'd get rid of that straight away, especially if it looks like you're a newer lifter. Starts to come in a little bit, and then lats need to be a lot tighter. I think you've rounded very, very early on that pull, and that's why you get to lockout and you can't do anything with it. Your glutes are completely done. So yeah, definitely better start position. Keep cueing that start position, film from the side. Make sure you're in a good position like we talked about in the video. So thanks for the video, Anton, ELKIN. Yeah, we see here straight away without even pulling those figure 8 straps, probably look in the wrong position. I think they're probably a little bit too big to be used from a barbell. And I think from there, if you get them going correctly, so revisit the video, watch that a little bit again, but we're talking about the deadlift figure 8 straps especially. And then on your pull, I think that stance could come in a little bit, mate. Yeah, bring the stance in, because at the moment it's kind of very, very close to your hands. And then it's all about that start position for you. Get your lats tight, sink into a bit more, and pull back on the bar, because once again you get above your knee and then have to shoot for the hitch. Alright, so this next video is from a user called FITBOYLESLIE. I'm not sure if that's your real name, but sure, so here's your video. Firstly, narrow stance, probably could come very slightly wider, and definitely you're a little bit too far over the bar. So pull back on it, and once again, you see if you're too far over the bar, you end up having to hitch it. So eliminate that hitch, pull straight back through. So as soon as that bar's clearing your knees, you should be thinking hips through and drive straight through to lockout, as opposed to that little kind of jumpy hitch you had going on there. So Ashley Lapidge, this is your video. Straight away, too close to the bar on setup. So you can see you address the bar, and then when you actually go to pull the bar rolls away. So move your feet slightly further back and go for your feet slightly facing forward a little bit more for me. Okay, this next video is from Gareth S. Yeah, nothing majorly wrong here. Just think you're getting a little bit too far forward, so just pull back on the barbell. But spine position looks great, hip position looks good. Just pull back on that barbell a little bit more, bring your shoulders back a wee bit. I don't know what your real name is, but your email is GAMEPLAYFIZZY. Yeah, and you see here, you're pulling with small plates here, so effectively you're pulling from a deficit, so it's quite tough to critique your deadlift, because obviously you're pulling from much lower than you should do, so make sure you get those standard height plates if you can. If not, you probably put those plates up on a block to make the bar height around 9 inches. But yeah, with this pull, you're just kind of rounding a lot, mate. So I'd just say keep watching the video, the tutorials, keep working on that start position, film from the side, and definitely lose the trainers to go flat foot for me and just socks. Alright, so this is effectively like a very aggressive pull, like a stiff leg deadlift, and you need to correct this immediately. That's a very, very risky way to pull in my opinion. So yeah, you need to go strip your deadlift right back, go through the technique work, you need to sink your hips, you need to get your lats tight, your hips need to go from a much lower position, because you can see here, you just literally grip it and rip it, and then get to the knee and you're out of ideas. So that's why you have to then go for the hitch. So yeah, watch the video again, make sure you pull down to the bar, you actually bend your knees into the deadlift, and you just need to keep going over and over those checkpoints we talked about in the video. This one's from Matthew in California. Obviously you've already stated that you've noticed that your form is off, and obviously you thought it was better, and this is why this is a perfect example why you need to film yourself deadlifting, because Matthew says he always thought his form was okay until viewing this video. And as you can see here, he's going for that roll away technique again, which I'm not a fan of, and it's coming at a different point, and his hips are shooting straight away, and he's pulling with a round back. So you need to eliminate that first. So go back and look at the video and focus on your start position. Get into that start position and all the points we talked about there, because that whole roll and then hip shooting high and you putting your back is not working for you at the moment, mate. But yeah, just keep working away and plugging away with it. This next one's from Simon Padmore. A little bit different. Obviously he's putting on an axle in a lovely decked area. But yeah, I mean the fundamentals need to stay the same. So you can see here you're pulling from a very rounded back position. You need to sink your hips a little bit more, get your lats engaged. Just because it's on an axle doesn't mean that anything changes really. You still need to get that lat tightness and sit those hips back a wee bit, because at the moment a lot of rounding through your lumbar spine there. Okay, so we've got Lucas here, and kind of the big thing for me, obviously regardless of moving on to the technique first, is the fact that all your pulls are going to be different, because you're going for a touch and go technique. If you're trying to learn the deadlift, you need to treat it as a deadlift. Effectively treat it as a 1 RM every single rep. Going for a touch and go is just adding variance again, which we don't want. But for you big work-ons, pulling back on that bar and getting that strong start position, so lats, lats, lats. Okay, so this video is from SAMB, and actually you've gone too far the other way in my opinion now. You're sitting too far behind the bar. So you know, a lot of the time I'll use the cue of get your shoulders back, mainly because most guys come too far over. But what's happened now with you is you're pulling, your shoulders position is actually behind the barbell, which is not a great place to pull from. So you got to understand with kind of coaching cues, it's not necessarily what you're saying, but it's what you're trying to change in the lift. So me saying a cue of like pull your shoulders back, for the vast majority of people it's pulling them back to neutral, or still very slightly in front. For you, you've gone too far over the bar, so I'd probably say, looking at this from the side on, you just need to kind of make sure on your setup you're not pulling too far back on the bar and effectively having all your body weight way behind the barbell itself. So that's all the time we have for videos on deadlift for this time around, guys. Thank you very much for sending them in. If you're watching this now, please stop sending them in, because we've had so many, it's filling up Connor's email. So yeah, if I didn't kind of show you theirs on the screen, make sure you watch the whole video, make sure you look for anyone who has similar techniques to you, and I'll address the problems there. Also, if I didn't comment, it's probably because your deadlift form is actually looking pretty decent, and all you need to do is just keep watching the video and keep working on the fundamentals. So yeah, make sure you kind of like this video, share it around, make sure we keep kind of spreading this information on deadlift, and watch out for the next couple of tutorials. We'll be moving on to some pressing and some squatting.